Hi there, welcome to Camping Secrets. I'm Marky Mark. Now normally when I go camping with my family, normally take our camper van. It's a small Mercedes Marco Polo, similar size to a VW California. And when we go to a campsite, we normally take one of these each. It's a camping chair.
Well, duh.
A big, rugged camping chair. But look at the size of this thing. It is large, it takes up space. It's pretty heavy. It opens quite easily. But what I like about this chair is it's comfortable. It's got a fully solid back here and you can sit comfortably at the campsite, drink your beer and have fun. What I wanted to introduce today is a different kind of camping chair. It's made by a Danish startup company called Sitpack. They've crowdfunded this, so it's a Kickstarter campaign, and now it's available to buy. We'll talk about price later because that's an interesting point, but this is a pretty interesting alternative to this kind of camping chair. As you can see, it's small. I'll put the dimensions on the screen, but when folded up in its bag, it's 13.7 inches by 3 inches by 3 inches. So that's about 35 centimeters by 8 centimeters by 8 centimeters. And Sitpack say it weighs 1.46 kilograms or 3.23 pounds if you're in America, imperial units. Now, that is 1.5 kilograms, which is fairly heavy. If you're going on a wild camp, for instance, and you want to carry a chair with you, my personal opinion is that this is towards a heavy end of what is easy enough to carry. And added on top of that, if we weigh what this actually is, I've got some scales here. So the 1.46 kilograms is actually just the chair. But with all the accoutrements, we can see we're at 1.68 kilograms. You know, and that is fairly chunky. But what is great is the size. This will fit in your camper van in a much, much smaller dimensional space than this big monstrosity. Look at that for a comparison. So you can actually put 3 of these in the space of 1 of these. So it's absolutely a great, great size for a camper van. As I say, for me, I think while camping 1.7 kilograms, I'd expect to have that as a tent. It's a bit of an extravagance to carry an extra 1.7 kilograms as a seat. There are lighter options for wild camping. So let us take this out and I'll show you how to put it up. It's actually extremely easy. What I like first and foremost is the bag. It fits really nicely in the bag. None of this like struggling to fit it in. Toss the bag aside. And it's a one-piece solution. So the legs and the sort of cover are all integrated and you don't have to have 2 separate bits. So let's just open it up. You can see the legs pop out. And then we have telescopic arms here. And these are really nice. Nicely engineered. So you literally just pull them until the little press stud clicks. And then the same for this one. So they're both out. Pull that one. And then we do the same for the back of the chair over here. Or is it the front? You can see that the actual chair itself is attached to and screwed onto the leg, so it cannot come off. And there we have a chair. I mean, you can get this set up in about 5 seconds, so that is a massive, massive benefit. So Sitpack shipped the chair with these little rubber end pieces for the aluminium legs. So this is aviation grade aluminium. It's really well made, possibly too well made. I don't know if that's a thing, but it's really got Scandinavian quality, which I do like. It reminds me of, you know, some IKEA equipment. I'm sure the manufacturers will hate me saying that. One thing I have noticed, these rubber end caps do come off, and actually they come off quite easily. There is a little press stud to keep them on. But that's one foible that I'll talk about later. So there is the chair. Let's have a sit in it. So one thing to note is it is lower to the ground than this standard chair. So if all your friends are in these bigger chairs, you might feel a little bit dropped down, but it is surprisingly comfortable. You can lean back. It comes with a little pocket on the side, and at a push you could put a drink in there. And they do sell a separate bottle or drinks holder. Now I should say that Sitpack have sent me all this gear for free, not this chair but the Campster 2, and this is an independent review. It is comfortable. There's nowhere to put your arms. They hang by your side, but you can move around. You do not feel it's going to collapse. You can stick your legs out. Now this will take up to 120 kilograms in weight, and I'm not that heavy, I'm about 95, need to lose a bit. So 120 kilograms, that's about 300 pounds, I think. Ultimately though, it's not that wide. I fit in nicely, but if you were much wider than me, you might struggle. But it is comfortable. Easy to stand out of. Now look at the material. We've got a mesh here at the back of the chair, and I think on hot days, that will be great for cooling, with a more sort of solid material for the seat and these side portions, just to give it strength. Now they do sell an additional cover for winter months, which goes on top of this, and I'll show you that in a bit. What else have you got? As I said, you've got a pocket. This is an actual accessory, so we'll talk about that later. So the pocket could hold a drink, I think. It's just a little mesh pocket. There's a carabiner at the front, and actually you can hang whatever you want off that. For instance, the water bottle holder or anything else. It's a little loop on this side, again for hanging stuff, and you have another pocket on this side. Now it's been expanded, it feels really pretty lightweight, but as I said, this on its own is 1.46 kilograms. So it's the bag and the extra little cover that I had that was adding it up to 1.7. So I do think this chair is an interesting proposition for camping at a campsite and either taking a car there and packing it in. It doesn't take up any space, and you don't have to worry about the weight then. In terms of downsides, I mentioned that these rubber end caps keep dropping off. So for me, that is a bit of an irritation. They just don't stay on long enough. They do actually ship 2 versions of end cap as well. So you got these orange ones, or they ship some glow-in-the-dark white ones. I don't know why this couldn't just be molded on or glued on so that they just stay on. Little bit irritating. What else don't I like about it? Well, I think it's time now we talk about the price, because the price is frankly ridiculously high in my view. I know it's a Scandinavian product. I know they pride themselves on awesome design, the best materials, and ethically sourced materials and environmentally friendly materials. But the current retail price of this in the UK is £89, and bear in mind this chair was about £35, I think, so you could get 2 of these at least for the price of this little one. As I said, it was a Kickstarter campaign. When it launched on Kickstarter, it was $49, which is about £38. So even that I would put as fairly expensive, but now it's on general release. £89 in the UK is a lot. Saying that, I do think it is good quality, and if you've got that kind of money hanging around in your budget, then it's a nice chair. I mean, there's no 2 ways about it for the size. Let's move on to the accessories, and in my mind this is where the price gets even more ridiculous, because as I said, it doesn't come with the drinks holder. So you know, I don't particularly want to be negative about this, but this is £9 for a little piece of material. It's got a nice hook on it, so you can hang it on your carabiner here. But it's not that big. I mean, it might take a bottle of Corona or something like that. It's not going to take a big water bottle. You know, I'd probably just stick with the mesh pocket and put my drink in there, if I'm honest. I don't think I would want to pay an extra £9. Yes, there's some insulation in there. We've got some silver foil insulation to keep your drink cool. But I'm not sure if that's really worth it. There's a pocket on the front. I think I would have liked to have seen that included in the retail price. And then another accessory is what they call the Campster Groundsheet. Now, this is if you're on soft ground, say sand or mud, or, you know, you can attach this onto the legs of the chair. So this is £21 for a little bit of material with some pockets on the side. Now, you can buy camping chairs that are £21 for the entirety, and they're charging £21 just for this bit of material. Let's fit it on. See, again, this foot has come off again, so I'm finding that side of it is a little bit, you know, I'm not even going to bother now with that. Let's put the cover on. So you just slide these pockets over each leg. And then this one here, and then this one here. So now you have this mesh base. They also give little hooks for each one, which can go through the leg itself on elasticated straps. Again, possibly a bit of over-engineering there. I'm not sure you need these hooks. I don't know if that's contributed to the £21, but for me, I think that's too expensive. So now, if we go on the grass, say, you can see now we're spreading the load over the whole mesh base, and the legs will not sink into the sand or into the mud or into the earth. So I do think it's a useful attachment, and I use this kind of thing on other chairs I've tested and owned, but I've never had to pay £21 for it. But it works well. Okay, finally, another accessory is the Campster insulated seat warmer. So as I said, got this sort of mesh here around the seat, and in the summer that's great, but in the winter, if you're at the campsite and you've got a fire at the front, you're getting heat, but you're going to have heat escaping out of the back. So Sitpack have designed this cover, a seat warmer, insulated. So this is another fairly large amount of money, £40. And this is like a insulated body warmer for the chair. And it feels nice. It's a lovely fabric. And you literally just hook it over the top, hook it over the bottom. It's quite a tight fit. You do have to really push it, but it will hook across. And then you just get that sorted out like that. And then we can sit on it now. And now that hot air will be trapped inside, and you should stay warmer for longer. So it's quite a nice to have. But if you add up the £40 for that cover, the £89 price for the chair itself, the £9 for the bottle holder, and the £21 for the mesh, you've got £159 in total for everything. And to me, that is way overpriced by probably 100%. If it was half that, I'd probably say go for it. But at this price, I cannot recommend it, in all honesty, because unless you've got the money to burn, it is a good chair. It's all good quality stuff. But for my purposes, I think, I'm really glad they've sent it me, but I've got to give my honest opinion. So Sitpack, I am sorry to be negative about this, but I think the price point is high. And I know Denmark is an expensive place to create products and manufacture, but in the UK, this is out of the reach of most of the population, I would say. But overall, in terms of function, it's great. As I say, these plastic feet keep coming off, but actually you don't really need them if you're using this mesh base layer. I would say if you're going to go for this chair, I would just buy the base level. You can still put your drinks in the pocket. £89 is possibly just about worth it for the chair, I would say, although there are cheaper options. Let's just show packing up. Really pretty easy. Just remove this base layer. Obviously you've got the hooks to take off as well. Of course the feet come off. I just don't know what the point of these are. I've said it. I think I'll leave those. So to put this down, you just click these little press studs and the telescopic arms just pop back in. And it's really a nice mechanism, that, because often with these press studs your fingers get caught, your skin gets caught, but it doesn't seem to happen with these. I think they've really thought about it. Just get these back ones down. Really, really easy. And then it just folds into the legs. So each leg folds into the bottom part of the leg. You can see now we're down. That's it. And then I do like a bag that fits. You could put that on my gravestone, I think. I can't stand it when you can't get something back in the bag. Nice and easy, that. Now if you want, and you've bought the base layer, that can go in the pocket, one of the mesh pockets, and you can fold that up with it. Or you can store this separately, or you can just fold it after and then put this in the bag separately if you want to. Nice and easy as well. And then these feet can go in as well. But personally, if you've got the base layer, I'd just use the base layer, forget the feet, or glue the feet on perhaps. But look, it's a lovely design. It's really well engineered. It does the trick. It does the job it sets out to do. It saves space. It's really small. It's fairly light. I mean, it is lighter than the big chair that I was showing before. And I think it is great for camper van, cars, where you haven't got much, where space is at a premium. So it's space that this thing saves, but it will dent your wallet. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I've been Marky Mark. This has been the Sitpack Campster 2 camping chair. And please like and subscribe, and let us know what you think of this chair, whether it's worth the money, in the comments below. And please check the description if you're interested in purchasing it. You can look at the latest price by clicking the link. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.